When you think of a union reform movement, what comes to mind? Probably picket lines, big meetings, maybe some fiery speeches. I bet you don't picture artificial intelligence. But what happens when a grassroots, volunteer-run YouTube channel decides to use AI to back a major union campaign? Okay, let's dive into this very modern, very tricky situation.
So, to get everyone on the same page, we're talking about the Teamsters Union. And inside that union, there's a reform campaign called the Fearless Slate. Their whole goal is to reclaim the union's power for its members and shake up the current leadership. You know, a classic grassroots movement trying to bring control back to the rank and file.
Now here's where it gets interesting. There's this YouTube channel that supports the Fearless Slate. But, and this is a huge but, it is not part of the official campaign. It's a pure grassroots effort. We're talking ordinary UPS workers and Teamster members volunteering their own free time to get the word out.
And this is where the plot thickens. What happens when these super passionate pro-union volunteers decide to use a tool that organized labor is, in a lot of cases, actively fighting against?
This brings us right to the heart of the contradiction. Using a tool that so many people see as anti-labor to push for a pro-labor cause. It sounds kind of backward, right? Let's break down why this is such a complicated choice.
And get this, the channel isn't hiding it. They are completely upfront about it. In their own words, they make extensive use of AI to put their videos together. They even say it's extremely obvious, so no secrets here. But in the world of unions, why is that such a big deal to admit? Well, you really have to understand, AI is a massive issue for organized labor right now. Just think about it. The writers and actors in Hollywood, they're terrified about job displacement. You've got longshoremen and communications workers fighting back against automation that could devalue their work. Across the board, unions are on high alert, and many see AI as a serious threat.
So that leads to the very question the channel asks about itself. Does using this technology taint what the Fearless Slate/Teamsters Union stands for? It's a really fair question, and it cuts right to the core of this whole debate. So why even do it? If you know this is a super sensitive topic, why would you embrace AI? Well, according to the channel, it wasn't so much a choice as it was a necessity.
And this slide really lays it all out. On one side, you have this huge goal: get vital information out to thousands of union members, and do it clearly and efficiently. But on the other side, you have the reality. This is a brand new, volunteer-run project with almost no money, not a lot of time, and pretty much zero experience in making videos. They have this quote in their statement that just paints such a clear picture. They say that not using AI would be like trying to do their work with one hand tied behind our backs and our shoelaces were tied together as well. I mean, that really tells you how impossible they felt the task was without some help. So for them, the choice wasn't really between making videos the traditional way versus using AI. The choice was between using AI to actually get their message out there or having no real voice at all. It was a practical decision, plain and simple. Okay, and this next part is maybe the most important piece of the puzzle here. We have to be super clear about the difference between the official Fearless Slate campaign and this volunteer-run YouTube channel.
The channel makes this point over and over again. They consider themselves a resource for the Fearless Slate, but they are absolutely not run by the official campaign. That's the key. The decision to use AI, that was made by the volunteers and the volunteers alone. It's not the official policy of the Fearless Slate.
And they even go a step further. They basically say, look, we're amateurs, we're doing our best here, so please don't let our DIY effort reflect badly on the official campaign. They're drawing a very clear line in the sand between their work and the official slate. In fact, they completely flip the script on this. They argue that the fact their channel even exists, this scrappy little volunteer project, is proof of the Fearless Slate's strength. They see it as evidence that the campaign is so inspiring that it's getting regular members to step up and take action on their own. So, where does that leave them? Well, the channel has a really clear perspective on this. They see AI as a tool for today's fight, and they've made a pledge for what comes tomorrow. You can kind of break their thinking down into 3 steps. Step 1. The #1 priority right now is winning the election, fighting for the little guy. Step 2. The tool for today to make that happen is AI, used responsibly just to get the message out. And Step 3. They make a pledge for tomorrow. When the time comes to fight over AI regulation, they will stand side by side with the unions. And they wrap it all up by showing complete faith in the official campaign they're supporting.
They say they have no doubt that the Fearless Slate will be right there with all the other unions fighting for the responsible use and regulation of AI. So this whole story leaves us with a really fascinating question, one that a lot of modern movements are going to have to face. When you're fighting for a cause you believe in, especially with limited resources, when does a helpful tool cross the line and become a harmful compromise to your own values? That's the question on the table.